"I'll take it then," Carlos said, and putting a $10 bill on the table. His week's worth of lunch money. Thinking happily that this guy was nuts and he'll get his money back in double soon, Carlos smiled brightly. "Just eat the blue end to get what you want, and if you change your mind later, just eat the red end," the man said casually as he took the bill and pushed the candy bar toward Carlos. "Okay," Carlos said, not really paying attention and stuffing the candy bar in his bag. He glanced at his watch and noticed he spent far too much time talking to the ice cream vendor. Breaking into a run, he went down the street taking in deep breaths. Carlos went to his normal classes he had that morning. Wasn't until lunch bell sounded and he was in cafeteria did he remember the candy bar. Carlos pulled the candy bar out and looked over it. How was this supposed to get him out of school? He thought. Part of him really wanted to believe in it. Make you sick so I don't have go to class. His thoughts seemed to answer his question. Opening the plastic wrap and breaking a small piece off, he put it in his mouth. The blue chocolate tasted strangely warm in his mouth, like it had been left out in the sun. Carlos waited for something to happen. No sick feeling came over him, nor did he feel any differently than before. What a rip-off, Carlos thought as he picked up his backpack and was puzzled for a second why it felt slightly heavier than before. He really did want the candy to work so he could get out of class. Carlos made a mental note to call the telephone number he memorized earlier. In a slight rage of anger, he walked off to his next class. Having no money to buy food, he went to the gym to hang out and watch some kids shoot some hoops. After 30 minutes of wasting time watching kids shoot some hoops, he searched in his bag for his math book. Looking for the familiar green cover, he was confused it was not there. Instead was a blue math book he had once owned a year ago. Pulling the book out, he looked at it. Opening the book, he saw it was his book. His name was signed inside the cover under the list owners. Weird, thought Carlos. Didn't I sell this book? Carlos asked himself as he got up and put the book back in his backpack. Carlos noticed his shirt and pants seemed to be loose. Tightening his belt, he went off for his next class. The classroom was empty and the lights were off. Carlos wondered in a confused state on why no one else was around. In 5 minutes' time the class was due to start. Checking his watch and the clock over the teacher's desk, he confirmed the time. Walking outside the door, he looked at the room number 34, the sign read by the door. What the hell is going on? Carlos thought as he walked back inside. Something else was strange about the room as well. It took a full minute for Carlos to put his finger on it. Complete utter silence. There was no hum of the air conditioner overhead or sounds of other students walking the halls. In fact, only the hall lights were on as Carlos looked around for some sign of another person. Cool, Carlos thought, trying to fight off the strange feeling of dread. Where did everyone go? Carlos thought, looking from side to side as he walked down the hall. Classroom doors were open and dark. Just minutes before, the entire place was full of teenagers like him. You there? A man's voice rang out from behind him as Carlos took the hallway to the exit.